All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. I realize tonight is a busy night in many regards. A lot of people are home watching basketball. So, March Madness is something that we all have to contend with, and that's okay. We will contend with it. And this is a very special Sunday evening because it's unusual for Purim and for Palm Sunday to sort of overlap, just sort of collide. And yet it's wonderful because while the first part of Palm Sunday is filled with joy and anticipation, and we imagine Jesus riding in on the donkey and people shouting and hollering, it's wonderful. A lot of churches in their liturgy end with a reading of the Passion, so that sort of brings it down several notches. Purim, on the other hand, starts out rather morbidly, and then we take it from there, and you've got lots of noisemakers, all right? We're going to talk about those later, but in the meantime, it's going to be a strange little tranquility with tea. We have birds in the background. They will be with us all during the service. And we hope that you all have a wonderful Easter. And remember, we have an extra Sunday. So we will not gather again until the 14th of April. But I think you all will want to be here because we're going to talk about what if Jesus had given us the instructions. Maybe we wouldn't be so chaotic. Maybe we would know a little more. I don't know if you're like me, but I often think, doggone it, why didn't he just lay it all out for us? It would have been a lot easier. Anyway, we're going to talk more about that on the 14th of April. And one other service, remember, the end of the month is our Earth Day celebration. So we've got a busy April. But we'll have an extra Sunday in there, but please don't forget and not come on April the 14th. Great. Deborah, did you want to say just real quick something about the cards that people have sent, that we've been sending?
Yes. Gabriella is very appreciative of the cards and letters y'all have been sending her, and she's still doing well. She did not have to have her kidneys removed, so she's looking forward towards June for having a transplant. And my Hannah went to Charlotte, and the doctors discovered that the Spartanburg doctors know nothing. And her seizures have been triggered by migraines. And so they will be able to manage those.
And for those of you who remember, we're sending little 8-year-old Gabriella cards because she has so much to contend with. So great, we're glad. All right, we're going to have just a few minutes of quiet, listen to the birds, and then we will begin with the call to prayer. Let us be quiet. Let us be silent. Let us join our hearts in this space.
We bid you welcome, who come with weary, who come with troubles that are too much with you, who come hurt and afraid. We bid you welcome, who come with hope in your heart, who come with anticipation in your step, who come proud and joyous. We bid you welcome, who are seekers to a new faith, who come to probe and explore, who come to learn. We bid you welcome, who enter this place as a homecoming, who have found here room for your spirit, who find in this people a family. Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome.
As we do at each of our Tranquility with Tea services, we invite everyone to come and light a candle on the altar. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. We have to wash our hands. I'm ahead of myself tonight. All right, if you haven't had a chance to enter the space by dipping your fingers in the water, please, please, please do that now. And we will go from here. As we have offered our call to prayer already, and we have washed, we now go to the altar and light a candle. This is blessing our time together.
We always ask, Creator God, we always ask before we thank you, for we are asking creatures. We ask for love. And thank you for the love you have inspired in us. We ask you to be closer to you, and thank you for our capacity to pray. We ask for your understanding, and thank you for bringing us the light of your presence. We ask for happiness, and thank you for the joy of life. We ask for strength, and thank you for the courage you have given us to hope. We ask for your presence, and thank you for living in our hearts. We ask, and we have already received. Blessed be your name, O God, our Creator. Amen.
This evening, we are going to read together the biblical account of Queen Esther. And as an introduction, we have Queen Esther here with us this evening, and she has a poem that will lead us into our part and our participation of the service. Queen Esther.
A Purim Potpourri, the story of Purim in rhyme by Leah Lipsker. A royal party like you have never seen, but Vashti refuses to be the dancing queen. A drunken king ordered her killed, leaving a position to be filled. The great beauty pageant begins, and a nice Jewish girl wins. While the Jewish community quelled her religious identity, Esther withheld. Meanwhile, Mordecai is the talk of the town. To Haman, the wicked, he won't bow down. Too bad Haman has a short fuse and decides to kill all of the Jews. Esther is asked to intercede with the king. But who knows what that could bring? What mood will he be in when she arrives? This guy has no qualms about killing his wives. So the Jews fast and pray, and Esther prepares a royal buffet. Mordecai is hopeful and is not scared, as Haman is having his gallows prepared. A reversal of fortunes, a twist of fate, leaves Haman a bit irate. God's plan is put into gear. Haman's end is very near. Esther proves to be a queen of great spirit and grace, and Haman is hanged in Mordecai's place. The 13th day of Adar comes, and the Persian army succumbs. God was the threat of annihilation. Purim became a day of celebration. So grab a Megillah and some tequila. Let the spirit of the day be your guide. There's no greater high than Jewish pride.
Purim is probably the most fun-filled of all of the Jewish holidays. It's exuberant. It celebrates the triumph of the Jews, over Haman, who, this happened about the 5th century BCE, a long time ago. And the annual event takes place every spring. After Haman's death, a day of celebration was commemorated, and it actually celebrates the life and the survival of all of the Jewish people who were living at Persia in this time. Rich, poor alike all come together to celebrate. And so there began a custom of exchanging foods and sweets with friends and relatives, as well as giving food and money to the poor. The most popular of these foods, and we're going to have some of these later, they're foods that look like Haman's three-cornered hat that he wore, and they're called Hamantaschen cookies. They're wonderful. If you don't think they look like his hat, it can also look like his ear. So you figure it out. You figure it out. The book of Esther is written in a scroll that once a year is taken out of its sacred storage space, and it is read in the synagogue with us, people like us, participating. And we're going to do the very same thing. We have a copy of that for you. If you'll sort of pull that out and look at it, it's right here. It is the story. Every time Haman's name is read, y'all have noisemakers. You got them? Y'all got a little noisemaker. Every time Haman's name is read, there's boos, there's hisses, there's noise, there's clapping, there's stamping of feet. This is our choir back here, and as I'm reading, they're going to lead the way. When we get to Haman's name, I'm going to pause a little, and we're going to make a lot of noise, because this was a really bad dude, a really bad dude. This day has become more like a Jewish Mardi Gras. It's a celebration in which children wear masks and costumes, there are parades. It's just a huge, huge celebration and time for partying. If you like to party, this is the day. This is the day. On that note, we're going to begin the story. So if you will take out your story, and if you will also have your noisemaker close by, and if it doesn't work, because some of them are a little cranky, if it doesn't work, you can boo and hiss, can't you? Clap your hands, stamp your feet. We just want to make a lot of noise and drown Haman out.
This is a summary of the biblical account of Queen Esther. The story of Esther begins with a grand banquet at the palace of King Xerxes. The king has become drunk on wine and commanded that his wife, Queen Vashti, come out before everyone to show how beautiful she was. Queen Vashti refused to be paraded before everyone. King Xerxes was so angry at her disrespect and disregard for his request that he divorced her. Then the king called for a nationwide beauty pageant to be held to find a new, beautiful queen. A Jewish woman named Esther was taken with other young women to a citadel. Esther's cousin, Mordecai, had taken Esther in and raised her as his own after her parents died. A man named Haggai was put in charge of preparing the women for meeting the king. Esther's beauty won her Haggai's favor, and she was given special attention. Esther was careful, however, not to tell anyone her nationality, as Mordecai had warned her not to. When it was Esther's turn to go before the king, he immediately found her the most attractive and beautiful of all women and placed the royal crown on her head. King Xerxes held a great banquet for his new queen, Esther. Esther continued to hide her Jewish background as Mordecai had instructed her to do so, because he knew it would be dangerous for her if anyone found out she was a Jew.
One night, when Mordecai was sitting by the king's gate, he overheard two guards named Bigthana and Teresh conspiring to assassinate King Xerxes. Mordecai told Queen Esther of the plan, and Esther told the king, giving credit to Mordecai for overhearing the plan. The two guards were hanged. Mordecai then refused to bow down to Haman, the highest of all nobles. When Haman found out about this and that Mordecai was a Jew, Haman became enraged. Haman became enraged with anger and wanted to kill not only Mordecai, but all of the Jewish nation. Haman convinced King Xerxes to kill all Jews as they stood in opposition to the king's rule. King Xerxes agreed and set a date for all the Jews to be killed. Mordecai told Esther about the king's edict to kill all the Jewish people. Esther feared for her life and tried to avoid his request to do something. Mordecai again pleaded with Queen Esther to do something to save the people. Esther responded by instructing all Jews to join her in fasting for 3 days and 3 nights. Then she approached the king with her request. Esther went to King Xerxes after 3 days of fasting, and the king asked what her request was. Queen Esther asked that the king and join her at a banquet the next day. The king said yes and asked to let her request be known at the banquet. Haman was still so enraged with Mordecai that he went to set up a pole to impale Mordecai the morning before the banquet. The king could not sleep that night and began to read the book that contained all that happened during his reign. The king read and was reminded of how Mordecai exposed the plot to assassinate the king. The king wanted to reward Mordecai for his good deed, and he called in to ask what should be done for a man who the king delights in. Thought the king was talking about him and responded saying, "Extravagant gifts and honor." Was even more enraged when the king told him it was for Mordecai. The next day was the banquet King Esther had called for. The king again asked Esther what her request was so he could grant her what she wanted. Esther boldly asked that she and her people be spared, and that had plotted to kill all Jews for money. The king was filled with anger against and had him hanged on the very pole that had set up for Mordecai. Queen Esther and Mordecai were given a state. They were honored with royal garments, and a decree was written to protect all Jews. Amen. Very good, very good. We see and meet a queen who was very, very beautiful. And she might have been a beauty queen. But what she did for her people is very fascinating, because she didn't dress up. She didn't put a lot of makeup on. But instead, she spent 3 days and 3 nights fasting and urging all of her people, all of the Jewish people, to do the same. Really, when we consider Esther, she's really a badass woman. So this is her day to celebrate and to be celebrated. Amen. Our joys and our concerns are shared as we drop pebbles in the vases on the altar, the bubbles that bubble up, flow up to the top, are our prayers being released and offered. And as we sit in this circle and others are sharing their prayers, we are prayerfully present to them. Joining our voices, and like the birds, let us sing, All Shall Be Well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. As most everyone in this circle knows, we are dependent on each and every one of us, you, me, all of us, sharing our time, our talent, and our treasure. It enables us to gather in this circle twice each month. And so this evening, a portion of our offering has been designated for Anderson County Paws, which is the Anderson County Humane Society. Some of you may have been following the news. They have broken up 3 puppy rings. They have over 300 dogs that they are trying to rehabilitate, and they have asked for donations. And most of us gathered in this circle, all of us, I would go out on a limb and say, support and love animals. So a portion of the offering this evening will be donated to Anderson County Paws, honoring Sandy and Queen Esther, Emily, Gail, and Donna Lodeholt for sharing their creative energy with us this evening. I'm going to ask Wanda and Donna Horton if they will pass the offering stars. Joining our voices again, like the birds, let's sing Ubi Caritas. Ubi Caritas et amor, Ubi Caritas Deus ibi es, live in charity and steadfast love, live in charity, God will dwell with you. Will everyone please stand as you are able as for the invocation of the 4 directions.
Facing east, this direction. We look to the east and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of rising sun comes red color, our time of infancy, time of emotional growth. Receive love for all that is to come. We give honor and thanks to the Creator. Quarter turn to the right, facing south. We look to the south and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of warmth comes golden color, our time of childhood, time of physical growth. Receive strength for our visit upon Mother Earth. We give honor and thanks to the Creator.
quarter turn to the right, facing west. We look to the west and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of setting sun comes black color, our time of adulthood, time to seek knowledge, bear fruit for the generations to come. We give honor and thanks to the Creator. Quarter turn to the right, facing north. We look to the north and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of the ancient ones comes color white, our time of being an elder, time of wisdom, spirituality, lives to go forth. We give honor and thanks to the Creator. Facing center, we look to the center or our being and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. In the center of this sacredness, we honor all we have become, to live with a good mind. It is done now. We are complete with the Creator, and now we can go forth to see what we must make to take us where we need to be, that place where love and peace surround. We go with the Creator with us. Namaste.
And though we will extinguish our community candle, we do not extinguish the warmth of community, the spirit of gratitude, the fire of commitment, and our shared compassion during this time together as community, the light of hope for change that brings new blessings into our lives and the lives of those around us, remains and will continue to burn brightly. We carry the light of hope in our hearts until we are together again. Amen.
Before we sample our Hamantaschen with a glass of lemonade, which is all part of this wonderful celebration that we've learned more about this evening, Purim, I'd like everyone to please stand as you are able, and we're going to sing together, Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace, may the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace, may the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Until we meet again, my hope and prayer is that our Holy Week is just that, sacred and holy, and we'll do it again on April the 14th. See you then, but let's have a sweet for now. Amen.